Spend a day at Yost Ice Arena, and the history hits you. From the decades of winning to the recent success stories, all the way to the architecture of the building. One by one, some of college hockey's biggest stars visited with us as they look to put together something special this season.
Do you shy away from the goal of a national championship? Do you guys say that out loud?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's obviously what we're working towards. I don't think we talk about it every day or anything. We just kind of focus on each day by itself. But yeah, that's what we all want.
Michigan's sophomore class is loaded with promising talent. And this year, they get to experience a more normal environment on the Ann Arbor campus.
To be back working with these guys, to be back at school, to have that block M on your shirt, what have the last few weeks been like to be back here as a student athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it's been nice to come back and see all the guys and kind of get a feel of what campus is really like in kind of a normal year.
It was weird last year. I don't have to tell you that. How difficult was it to get a feel of what college life was like going through it during the pandemic?
I mean, it was really hard. I think for the hockey team especially, we were kind of locked away just to ourselves the whole entire year, so we didn't really get to do anything, didn't get to go see any football games or anything like that.
They had a goal in mind, though, keep to themselves and aim for a national title. The Wolverines were on their way to the ultimate goal last season when hours before their first-round game of the NCAA tournament, a COVID test shut down the team and forced them to forfeit.
How much of a gut punch was the way last season ended?
It's terrible. It's my 40th year Division I hockey as a coach. You know, outside of losing a national championship in overtime, that might be right up there, maybe even more so. To walk into that room and have to look those guys in the eyes and tell them we're done was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
How many varying degrees of emotions were responding to you? Tears, anger,
Oh,
frustration?
everything. I think the whole gamut, especially the few days after, from anger to tears to frustration to why, the questioning. You know, student athletes this day and age, you all want to know why. Well, why are we doing this? Why are we doing? And not to have any answers for them was tough. But yeah, the emotions were through the roof.
From the University of Michigan, Owen Power.
NHL Draft Night, the Wolverines made history. 1, 2, 4, and 5. No program has ever heard that many names called in the top 5.
From the University of Michigan, Matty Beniers.
The excitement set a buzz through the program. But then the question was there. What will these guys do? Go to the NHL or return? One by one, the dominoes fell. The band was getting back together.
You see one guy here and everyone kind of talked and we're like, yeah, like we want to go back. And so that was kind of cool. I think that everyone wants to be here and wants to come back and try to win something before, like, you know, maybe move on next year.
The question everybody asks, which you'll have to answer, I'm sure, 25 times before the puck finally drops in the season. Why did you decide to come back here?
Yeah, I think just extra year development, and then you see the team we have and how special of a group it is. I think it was too big of an opportunity to miss out on and coming here and trying to win a national championship.
Matty Beniers told me the group had a pretty good idea before the draft. They were all planning to return. Once they heard their names on draft night, though, they celebrated, met their future employers, then got talking again. The plan was unchanged.
I really think we got a team who is pretty much is about the team and not about themselves and how many points they got. So I'm excited for the year.
Individually, I think we all feel like we have more to prove in college, and yeah, I think for me for sure, like more to develop to be ready to, you know, be an impact player in the NHL. And I think you know, you don't want to make the mistake of going too early and struggling too much. So yeah, I think it's a great choice by all three of us.
How much were you sweating to wonder if they were coming back?
Well, I didn't know probably till a couple of weeks before school, so they kept it a secret. I think all along I was hoping that we'd get them back, but you're never sure. And especially with the draft going so late this year, we were up against it, you know, and finally when one of them talked about coming back, then you had a feeling, well, gee, if we can get one, maybe two, and then just snowballed. So really excited to have them all back, and I think they're all coming back for the right reasons, you know, to continue their academic careers, but also to develop here at Michigan, and they have unfinished business.
In Ann Arbor, Brad Galley, 7 Action Sports.